generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
If you're drunk,
blasted,
intoxicated,
rip, plastered,
taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
For 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Bach.
Well, they may not move higher than number 12. Although I still think they can. Although they still have not, as JJ says. But they can be number 4. Wait, 4 is higher than 12. Yeah, but they're still 12. But they're number 4. And the second number is really all that matters. Get it? Got it? Good. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck with you on a beautiful, chilly Wednesday morning. How you living?
What it do?
So, it's all right. It's all right. I should probably answer your question. Is that a question or is that a statement?
It's kind of like an open statement.
Yeah, what'd it do?
What'd it do? It's all right.
Yeah.
What'd it do with you? Oh,
All right.
you know.
All right. Yeah, makes sense. All right, so you might be right at some point. I mean, until they move higher than number 12, they won't be higher than number 12. But they're number 4. Boise State is the 12th ranked team in the college football playoff rankings. However, in the seedings for the college football playoff, they are currently the number 4 seed, and with the number 4 seed would receive a bye in the first round of the playoffs. How does that work? As you're all learning and sifting your way through what is the new college football playoff, the top 4 ranked league champions receive byes. That's the way this was set up. It was set up to protect the Power 4 leagues and then throw a bone at one group of 5 champion as the top 5 highest rated league champions get an automatic bid. Well, with BYU losing, and the only loss on Boise State's resume is a last-second field goal loss on the road at the home of the now number 1 team in the country. Boise State is ranked in the rankings higher than the perceived champion out of the Big 12, BYU. And hence, the fourth highest rated champion, if it was to end today, and they would get a bye. So it doesn't matter, JJ, if they're only 12th because they're 4th. Makes sense? Got it?
It does make sense. It's still a little wacky to me. Like, why can't you just put them
Rank them 4?
Just say this is a 4 team and then because why? But then you have the 12 and yada, yada, yada. Here we go. But for Boise State, as you said, as long as they're ahead of someone else, it doesn't matter if they're higher than 12 because conference championship.
So why do they do it this way? And I appreciate that they do, to be honest with you. It's like, remember when you were taking Algebra 2 or something, or Calculus, or go back in the day, whatever it was, and there was a problem and you had to show your work, how you got to that, you can just turn in an answer, right? You got to show your work. This is them showing their work in the algebra, right? This is how we get there. So here's the rankings. Bop, 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 bop. And then here is the answer, right? And we've got rules, we've got a formula, we've got and that's why it is. So that's where we are. I'm actually, the more we go through it, I think it's working. I don't know how you feel about it, but I think the more we go through it, I think it's working. Do you?
I don't think it's working for the fans.
Because they have to learn something.
Yeah, but I think all it does, it's reinforcing that there's going to be more changes to this in terms of getting rid of opportunities for anyone outside, essentially the SEC and Big Ten. I think that's what's going to happen, because when you have Penn State sitting there at 4 and they're 6th, and then you're going to have a bunch of Penn State people complaining the Big Ten's going to be upset.
Why is Boise State in there? Why are we letting the little guy?
How is it 12? Yeah. The 12th ranked team getting a bye?
Yeah, they'll figure it out.
They can figure it out, but I think it's just rank it. I think it would just be so much simpler to say
they're ranked higher, and then people could just complain that why are they ranked higher?
Why? Because a lot of it is in why you saying this team is better than that team.
Yeah.
But then there's this caveat that 12 jumps up to 4. I really like how you said it. But my thing isn't that it's not hard to understand for fans. I think it's going to be easier for those schools to look at this and go, well, you have us ranked 4th, but we can't get a bye, and they're just going to push out the group of 5. They're just going to push out these.
Are they mad at Miami? Miami's 8th in the rankings. Miami is the ACC projected champion. Miami's ranked 8th, but they get a bye. Are they mad?
I think little
at that?
things like that. It's, well, you're ranking us. You're saying we're better than this team, but they're in front of us. And yes, it was all agreed upon. I understand that. It's what's going to be interesting too is then seeing how they evaluate conference champions, because I do think that is something they're talking a lot about, the loser of a conference championship game, because I don't think you should penalize a team for getting to a conference championship and say, oh, they have 3 losses. Yeah, because they played in a conference championship game, and the team that didn't make it jumps them. So they still have a lot to figure out with the process. I'm glad we're here having this discussion, but I also see how it always was going to end up pretty much just coming back and being about the Big Ten and SEC.
How would you feel? Because I like that they value a conference championship. I do. You play all season long for something. You play for a conference championship. I like that they value the conference championship. If they get away from the top 4 seeds would be the top 4 ranked conference champions, then there is no need to play a conference championship game, right?
Yeah, I think that has changed with how big these conferences are. Because you don't play everyone.
You don't. No, you don't.
And like they had to release a story, the Big Ten yesterday, saying, "Oh, by the way, Oregon is in the championship game," but it just took us a while to figure out why.
Yeah, and they don't know who they're going to play, whether it's going to be Ohio State, Penn State, Indiana, whatever. They don't know. See, if you just say, "Look, here's your seeds 1, 2, 3, 4," and then if the top ranked, let's say Boise State loses, and the top ranked Group of 5 team ends up being Army at number 19. Meaning number 12 would be out. Army would be seated number 12. So you'd be clean with that, just going Oregon, Ohio State, Texas, and Penn State get a bye. They're the top 4 teams.
I don't think you can get there with, as you said, the still playing conference championships.
And they make a lot of money making
playing
those
games. You do want to put emphasis on that. And there's not a clean way to have it when you have the leagues this big. So you're going to have to deal with figuring out just how good Indiana is.
And that's why
blowing people out, but not having a great strength of schedule and this other stuff. But the same thing you're dealing with Indiana, it's the same thing for Texas. You look at
100%.
You have to balance it. It's a challenge, but I do think that the way you explained this morning, I like it. Like, all right, show your work. It might not be clean to the eye of a college football fan, but this is the criteria and this is how it works.
I like it on a number of levels because I agree with you, and I've been saying this. Conferences to me are just too big, and so they've got their own issues there. But then why have conferences? And then you're going to tell me that's why they're going to a super league and going to completely lock out anybody outside those 70 teams, which Maybe they get there, maybe they don't. There's room for inclusion for a group of 5 team. I think it's from where we sit, from the perspective of Mountain West teams or Conference USA teams or whomever, the fact that in year one you might, and again, this isn't done. If BYU wins out, which means that they would beat Arizona State and then Houston and then what? Arizona State or SMU in the championship game? Would that be enough to jump them over Boise State, who's going to have to get through Wyoming, Oregon State, and probably Colorado State? They could still get jumped as a one-loss team.
They really penalized BYU for that loss.
They did, because it was a loss to a 4-6 team.
And they dropped them behind a team that they beat in SMU.
Well, what they've done here is said the losses to whom you lost and how you lost matters, right? That's what the committee's been very consistent with that. Notre Dame dropped quite a bit when they lost to Northern Illinois. Now they haven't won since. Now who the hell have they beaten? I mean, is A&M is a great win for them in week one. Virginia, I mean, they got Army coming up, and Army would end up being a good win. Navy was a good win, but they got nobody. Their schedule, I mean, typically, they play a schedule, and Notre Dame is not eligible for a first-round bye. They're not eligible for a first-round bye. I'm okay with the way the formula is. I really am. Because if you just go straight to the top 4 teams, again, there's no need to have conference championship games. And they make too much money on conference championship games.
Yeah, that's not changing, but they changed things with how big these leagues got.
Mm-hmm. I understand
and
that.
They're like, oh,
yeah,
might make it a little messier.
Well,
then
at least Indiana would have to play someone.
You invited all these teams in your conference.
That's
there
right.
You go.
No, that's right. And look, you would be sitting here. We're having 3 Big Ten teams in the top 3. The SEC's screaming, "What about us?" And I promise you, as Tennessee sits there at 11 and on the outside looking in, saying our 2 losses to Georgia and to Arkansas and whatever, we're better than Boise State. Maybe they're better than Boise State. Maybe they're not. I don't know. Boise State looked pretty damn good playing Oregon, didn't they?
I think the thing that surprised me the most about this, but it ends up making sense when you start talking about how to evaluate 2 3-loss teams in this, is the amount of good loss talk there is.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's, well, as long as you didn't get beat too bad by someone good, that's really on your side, right?
Well, you look at who's at the top, right? You got an Ohio State who lost by 1 point to the number 1 team. You got a Texas's 1 loss is to Georgia, who's at what's Georgia at? Number 10, right? A road loss. Penn State's 1 loss was to number 2 Ohio State. Indiana lost. Notre Dame, that was a really, 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 really bad loss. I mean, Notre Dame's the one that might be a little high for me, honestly, because what's their great win? They got 1 win against Texas A&M on the road to open the season. A horrible loss, which is getting worse every week, including last night. Northern Illinois lost again. And then you're into the 2-loss teams. Is Alabama is a 2-loss team with their 2 losses on the road at Vanderbilt, for crying out loud, and then they lose on the road to 11th ranked Tennessee, who's out of the playoff. They're seated higher than a 1-loss Miami, right? So it is interesting.
Yeah, and like, why is Texas there?
Yeah, look, and if Texas loses to A&M at the end, they won't be, and they won't be. It's really interesting. You get
Georgia whooped Texas in Texas.
I know. You got 1 Big 12 team that's going to get in, probably, right? The champ. Whoever wins their champ game. You probably got 1 ACC team that's going to get in. You got a lot of SEC. You got a lot of Big Ten. 505-246-0610 is how to get here today. What do you think as it goes? Boise State's sitting in a position of a bye. Lobo fan, I'm really this has been interesting to me. I wonder where you are. Since they're still in the Mountain West, are you happy about this? Are you kind of pulling for them? Or are you in that bleep you mode? You left us. You're going to the pack and whatever. I'm really curious where you are with them. Now you would still get benefits from that. You'd get the money. It's a Mountain West thing. So whatever.
Do you get more money out of this if Boise State's in the 12-team playoff?
Yeah.
Is it similar? Not totally the exact thing, but the shares as NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Like your league would get more money with a team in it, as opposed to just the payout.
Yeah, you do. All right, lots to do today. Boy, the Jets thing is getting juicy. Oh, it's getting juicy around Aaron Rodgers and the Jets and Woody Johnson, and what's he going to do before he's going to still run his team, but he's going to have a job in the Trump administration, and he's firing people left. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Wants to fire his quarterback, too. That is juicy. 9 o'clock this morning, scheduled to have Devin Dampier with us, the Associated Press National Player of the Week. I mean, just throw all the accolades on the Lobo quarterback. He's been terrific. Really looking forward to the conversation with Devin Dampier. When we come back, when you're a Jet, you're a Jet. Or are you? Not if the owner says you're not. Or maybe if the owner says you're not, well, you can push back once. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal.
When you have sports mixed with your pop culture,
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot. It's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks. I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Convenient for you. It's what they do. They have been awarded best in the city. You know why? Because they are the best in the city. They take the time and the care to make your car look and feel and smell like it's brand new. This is detailing at your convenience. So you don't take your vehicle to them. This is the most beautiful thing. You're in your office, they're outside in the parking lot. You're in the house, they're in your driveway. They bring the mobile unit. And this is what the car dealers do, man. They detail your vehicle, right? Remember the day you took it off the lot? You can have that without getting a new car, the new car feel. They're done. You go outside. Your car looks, smells, feels brand new. It is a great gift. As you're looking for that perfect gift for that perfect someone, On the Spot Automotive Detailing wins every time. Go online. Look at it, everything they can do. They got paint protection film, coat of wax, window tinting. On the Spot Automotive Detailing is at otsdetailing.com. It's otsdetailing.com. All right. Holy smokes, JJ. So the Jets yesterday fired their general manager, Joe Douglas. Would you want, I mean, we talk about the Cowboys. I don't know what organization's in a worse place right now. I think the Jets have more talent, and they can get out of their quarterback situation less expensively than the Cowboys. So maybe the Jets are a quicker rebuild, but I don't know. They fired Joe Douglas yesterday. He'd been there 5 seasons. It was 6 weeks after they fired Robert Saleh, their head coach, when they were 2-3. They may bench Aaron Rodgers. They may not bench Aaron Rodgers. The stories that are coming out that Woody Johnson, the owner, after they lost week 4, remember when they lost to the Broncos? That rain.
Yes. 10-9.
They missed a field goal at the end that would have won. Evidently, Woody Johnson called a meeting with everybody, right? I mean, he called in his team president, and he called the coaching staff and his head coach and his offensive coordinator. And he wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers, evidently, according to the CBS Sports report by John Breach. He wanted to bench everybody, or bench Aaron Rodgers. He wanted to give Tyrod Taylor the reins, that they had a better chance to win. And the coaching staff talked him out of it. 2 weeks later, they lost to the Vikings. He fired Saleh. Evidently, Joe Douglas has no power at all. Yesterday, Joe Douglas got fired. Does Aaron Rodgers play again in the NFL? In the NFL, I'm not even talking about the Jets, because I don't think, if he's done with the Jets, I don't think anybody touches him. I just don't.
I'll lean towards yes.
And the scenario would likely be what that he plays again? Would it be with the Jets this week? I mean, is he their quarterback? Did they play this week? Everybody feels like everybody's on a damn bye this week. So they're on a bye this week. They are 3 and whatever they are, 3-8, I believe. Yeah, 3-8. They're done. They get Seattle the week after this. Dolphins, the Jags. It doesn't matter. They're not going anywhere.
They're not going anywhere. And I think you start looking at it contract-wise, and I think this is it's an issue that the NFL can't solve because players want protection in their contracts, putting their careers on the line weekly with devastating injuries. But even if you're not good, if you just start benching a quarterback because you don't want to pay them, that's not good for the league in the second half of the season. Because Tommy DeVito is not the future. Tyrod Taylor's not the future.
But Aaron Rodgers is not the future either.
No, but he's still better product.
Nor is Daniel Jones. Right.
Tommy DeVito and Tyrod Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's an area where you have to ask the question. It's a fair question because we see it happening. And does he play again this season? I believe he does.
So
because especially when you got your BFF Devontae Adams in there, and I think they'll at least finish out the year.
How do you think he's feeling? You bring up a couple of questions. which goes deeper on this whole issue. The league's got to do something about it. So teams that are going to tank, and obviously what the Giants are doing, with you so involved with gambling, with fantasy football, with so much invested and people's real life money invested, do you owe it to, and you decide to whom you might owe it, or you could tell me I don't owe it to anybody, but do you owe it to fans, to sponsors, to the integrity of your game to put out the best product possible as opposed to tanking?
Now, these teams aren't good right now. So you could also argue.
Yeah, how damn good were they? Yeah.
Is this really just benching because of an injury guarantee? Or
Yeah, well, it obviously is. All right, so here's the deal on Rodgers. He'll be 41 next month. He's slowed down, right? I mean, he's not Aaron Rodgers anymore. He's a 41-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles. Imagine that. Imagine that he looks like a 41-year-old quarterback coming off an Achilles. All right, unless he retires, and I'm not sure that's where he wants to go, and especially if he's treated the way that he feels he's always been treated, and his guy gets fired and whatever. Or maybe it's not his guy, whatever. Unless he retires, he's due $23.5 million next year. That's the final year of the restructured 3-year deal that he signed with the Jets. Now, as of now, the Jets could not outright release him or trade him right after the 2024 season without paying a big price. Cutting or trading Aaron Rodgers would result in the loss of $25.5 million, or essentially the majority of their entire projected 2025 salary cap. And that's pending additional cuts, JJ. So that they will not just release him nor trade him. Now, he could be a designated post-June 1st cut. I learned about the salaries, and I don't know how they come up with these rules. I mean, it's just honestly bonkers to people who know this stuff. But he could be a post-June 1st cut. And that would save the Jets $9.5 million against next year's cap. That would free his deal from the books. The team would get some savings. Basically, literally just holding him on the roster. Don't come to camp. Go to Egypt. Do your thing. Go sit in the darkness. Oh, no, Aaron, you're still on the roster. And January 1, they could cut him or trade him. Now, I don't know that anyone's calling for a 41-year-old struggling, cranky, angry, disruptive signal caller, but okay. I mean, dude got everything he wanted. He got everything he wanted. He got paid. He picked his spot. He picked his offensive coordinator. He even got his best buddy in Devontae Adams to come over. Everything he wanted, he got. So, JJ, this is why I'm not sure he'll ever play again. If they bench him, and doesn't it kind of feel that's where the temperature of that organization is going? If you're him, do you want to keep playing on a 3-8 football team this year, or you want to be benched?
I don't think anyone wants to be benched.
Fair enough. Do you want to keep playing, though? I mean, if you had your druthers, would you say
yes,
sleep it?
Are you did you show up to play football or not?
That's a really fair question.
Like, why are you there then?
Well, he's making $50 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. However much money you got, I don't know anybody who doesn't like another $50 million. Right? Why are you there is a really fair question. Is he on McAfee today?
And yes. It says Tuesdays. Or that would have been yesterday, right?
It would have been yesterday, and he didn't go on?
No. And you bring up, would anyone do this again?
Why?
Yes, someone would.
Who? Why?
Well, why did Woody Johnson do it? Why do we see other owners?
Okay, but you didn't see this. You didn't see him broken. The last you saw of him was he was coming off an MVP season, right? He still looked really good. You know what? I just saw Tom Brady do it, and he said all the right things, and I'm going to bring him in, and we're going to set him up, and it's going to put us over the top. I got a really good team, and all I need is a quarterback, and he's still playing at that level.
It's a really good team. It's just owners think that they know best. Like Woody Johnson, after 4 weeks, benching Aaron Rodgers is crazy.
It is crazy.
That's a crazy thought to me. It's like, did you not think
What about now?
This process, there might be a little rough spots early, and it turned up to be a disaster. We all see that, and that's why they're cleaning house and setting the table to reset. But I look at, like, the Carolina Panthers. I could see that organization tossing a bone to Aaron Rodgers with a crazy owner.
They'd be nuts.
No, they wouldn't be nuts. Like, its owners are crazy.
They would be nuts.
They would not be nuts.
Tell me the justification.
Drafted a quarterback number 1 overall and fired the coach that same season.
Okay.
Like, the owners do stuff like this.
What's the justification bringing him in? Like talk me through it. I'm your GM, and you're convincing me this is what we're doing. What's
because you're the owner, and you're like, you know what? We want this Bryce Young kid. Maybe if we bring in Aaron Rodgers for a year, that's got to be better than Andy Dalton, right?
Hey, boss, what do you see in Aaron Rodgers?
It's Aaron Rodgers, an MVP.
See what he just did to the Jets? You see what he did to their organization? He's not an MVP. He was. He's not. He's a old, broken, slow quarterback.
You see how many people talk about Aaron Rodgers? Do you think that this fan base would rally around and buy some tickets to see this mess? Absolutely, they would.
No, I don't.
All right, you're fired.
All right, I'm out. I'm good, man. I don't need
signing Aaron Rodgers.
Knock yourself out. I'm gone. He can have my office.
That's exactly how that would go for David Tepper.
That's actually pretty good. Yeah, that's how that goes. I'm good, man. I'm out. All right, 505-246-0610. Do you think he plays again? I mean, because I can see a scenario where we might have seen the very last game of Aaron Rodgers. Now, he may play this year for the Jets, but boy, it sure sounds like it's over there. 505-246-0610. Devin Dampier scheduled to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report brought to you by the Albuquerque Journal.
The Albuquerque Journal and Venue Plus.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep. All your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on Pro View Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
You're coming up at 9 o'clock, quarterback. Love the story about the offensive line using their NIL money to give back to the community. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, UNM's offensive line, and this is gaining, and you can be part of this as well. They're giving away Thanksgiving turkeys and the size, the meal to families in need. It's going to be on Sunday morning at 10 o'clock out at University Stadium in the West parking lot. And it's being funded initially, and then the community now is putting in more to help this effort. By Lobo offensive linemen using their NIL, or part of their NIL, and donating money from the funds that they are earning through NIL to give back to the community. And I just think it's phenomenal. You hear all the time, and we want good kids. You want teams who win. But I do believe that you want quality individuals representing your team. And I think, JJ, I'm going to tell you, the last coaching staff was really good about this as well. I think Danny and that group, really, really good individuals. And honestly, a lot of them are still here.
Well, it's
a lot of
evident
them are this group.
When you look at the off-the-field stuff,
yeah,
there hasn't been major issues. There hasn't been a ton of guys getting in trouble, kicking guys off programs. I haven't had that.
Yeah. Richard Pierce is one of the linemen, team captain. Said, quote, "The guys on the offensive line just wanted a way to give back to the community this year. We thought going out and using our NIL money to get turkeys and some fixings to give the families that need it would be a great way to thank the community that has been so great to our team," end quote. I think it's insane. Luwan Owens, Baraka Beckett, Mackenzie Agnello, Richard Pierce, Wallace Unamba. They've been really good. By the way, the 5 sacks that they've allowed this year are the third lowest or the third best in all of FBS. But this is a big deal. And, when you talk about stuff all the time, and if a guy gets in trouble, look what he's done. And, I always used to laugh. Another Lobo, people used to say. Another Lobo's in trouble. And it's been a minute. When was the last basketball, men's basketball, football? When was the last off-field issue you've heard about at UNM? It's been a minute, right? It's been a minute. And there's something to that, boys and girls. I get it. You want to win. And they're 5-6, and they've won 5 out of the last 7 games. When you got young men, and I'm going to guess, you hear quarterbacks are making a whole lot of money. I'm not going to ask them. I don't know how much they make, but I know it's not a ton of money. When they decide to use some of that money to give back, and I heard Richard Pierce on KRQE last night, and I put out a note, and I'm trying to get them on, but they've got one of the reasons, guys, we haven't had a lot of players on with us this year, as we always have in the past, is because they're in meetings and practice during our show. And I'm a way bigger fan of having them on live than going out and just recording stuff, and so that's why. But I was told they're back in their morning stuff tomorrow. Devin's off today because it's a bye week. But JJ, you got young men who say, "I'm going to go do something." Look, that deserves some love, because we don't do enough really when their GPAs come out and they're good. But anytime there's negative, you all want to jump on it. And I say, y'all, that's not fair. People want to jump on it. And I hope you jump on this, because I think this is really, really cool.
This is awesome for the offensive linemen stepping up. And it's any position group to do this would be super cool, but it also just has that offensive line vibe. Like, the guys that are in the trenches together, that are grinding, and that's like the one position you look at, and they want these guys to almost have a screw loose at times when they're playing on the field, but then you also realize that they're just good people. It's just this offensive line vibe that you get being around. It's just this weird football thing with offensive linemen. Like, on the field, like, these dudes are going to pancake you and try to turn you into dust. But then, them coming together, trying to feed up to 100 families this weekend, it's awesome.
Yeah, a lot to be said about that. All right, 505-246-0610. The semifinalists for the Pro Football Hall of Fame class were announced today. 25 modern-era players named as semifinalists. And 6 of them are first-year eligible candidates. It came out this morning. The list of candidates has 17 players who were semifinalists last year. Guys making their first year of eligibility. You tell me, as I give you these names, are they Hall of Famers? And well, I'll give them to them. Luke Kuechly, Eli Manning, Terrell Suggs, Earl Thomas, Adam Vinatieri, Marshall Yanda. Each last played professionally in 2019. One other player reached semifinal for the first time, offensive lineman Richmond Webb. It's an interesting list of players. We'll go through all of them. Who you think is a Hall of Famer? We're gonna really have that Eli Manning conversation now. Is he a Hall of Famer? Hey, Rudy. Good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Rudy. Let me do that again because I didn't push the button.
He drive from the offensive line. I jumped in too, and then other people have been jumping in. So here's the situation: we've secured the 100 turkeys. What we really need is people to keep donating so that we can add to the box. We want to get them some side dishes, some corn, peas, whatever, stuffing, cranberry sauce, because it's not a turkey without cranberry.
Some people think that.
It's just a tremendous thing, and people are jumping in left and right to help out. We've secured a truck to keep the turkeys frozen, get them out there, and we're going to put the boxes together on Sunday morning, and we encourage people. There's a lot of people hurting out there in this community. If they need a meal, they can stop by. And it's first come, first served.
Yeah, it's going to be
Sunday morning.
Sunday out at 10 o'clock, and I know there's a lot of people. There's a link at Go Lobos, and it's called Unmatched Excellence, and you can donate cash. You can be part of it. It's all on golobos.com as far as how to become a part of this thing. But again, if the very first part of your call was cut off, but I know that you appreciate this kind of thing, and you've been a Lobo fan, a supporter, and a lot of the players. I just think the fact that these young men are doing this and using their money and going out and doing something like this, and while the season's still going on, I think is really, really cool.
Yeah, they have learned to be of service to others. Mm-hmm. That's something that is preached every day, and this goes hand in hand with their Thursday Heroes that they've been doing. I don't know if people know about that, but someday we'll get into that. But right now, I just wanted to encourage people to go to golobos.com, and if you can make a donation to help us out, that's great. We're just working really hard. We're going to meet Thursday to get everything finalized, and here's guys that could be just sitting around trying to get ready for a game in a week. Instead, they're out staying busy and helping this community, and I'm overwhelmed by them.
Yeah, it's really cool. All right, man. Appreciate you. Thank you. It's at golobos.com, and you'll find it. Go to the football page. And if you want to help and if you want to be part of the drive and help feed people in this community so they can have a Thanksgiving like most of us will have, you're encouraged to do so. All right, 505-246-0610. I want to get through some of the Hall of Fame finalists. I want to get into the Jet story more. The Trump dance is going to be okay. That's going to be the new thing, isn't it? Johnny Bones Jones did it right after his win. The Trump dance is kind of the thing now. So you can do that. You know what's the thing? Albuquerque Convention Center. If you are looking to have a thing, a party, a event, a gala, a convention, a reception, a holiday party, Albuquerque Convention Center is your spot in the heart of downtown Albuquerque. Diverse spaces. They'll accommodate anything imaginable. From the intimate gatherings and meetings to grand expos and conferences, they've got staff and service and food and beverage options. It will all go above and beyond. Your dream event becomes reality. So take your event to the next level. They've got the spaces you need and more with diverse layouts. It's every planner's desire. Exterior and interior walls decorated with local art pieces, delectable food and beverage options, and right in the heart of the historic downtown area. Your event will satisfy every attendee. If you are planning an event, make sure you think about the Albuquerque Convention Center. We do every year for our players, student athletes from Isleta New Mexico Bowl. They have an evening at the Albuquerque Convention Center because they take care of our guests, and they will take care of yours as well. 505-768-4575 is the number. 505-768-4575. Go online, look at them at albuquerquecc.com. Albuquerque Convention Center, be at the center of it all.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Seriously? You expect me to drive while you aren't wearing seatbelts?
What's the worst that can happen?
And a state in the Lobos.
Lady Bulldogs in town, one of those teams that plays a lot of Division I road games. The non-conference schedule. Look to solidify a few more things because the upcoming stretch, probably the toughest stretch of the season for the Lobos. Got Gonzaga, UC Irvine, North Texas, then back-to-back against Mexico State.
They're going to still play them twice, huh?
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to do that. I'm down with that, by the way. I'm down with that. All right, 505-246-0610, 888-922-0610, if for whatever reason you're still, paying tolls and that sort of thing. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com and JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. We are on, or JJ is on, the X. It's _ JJ Buck, and you can find us there. Adrian's producing on the visuals, and you can go to our Facebook page, the OD and the AM, and you can watch us there. We'll do that in the next. I will do that in the next segment. As far as where Dion says he's going to be. I was just looking down the list of Hall of Fame finalists, and I don't know that anybody jumps out and says absolutely. Does Steve Smith, the wide receiver, Panthers, Ravens, does he jump out absolutely to you?
Not as an absolutely.
Reggie Wayne, Darren Woodson, Terrell Suggs, Earl Thomas, Luke Kuechly, Torrey Holt, James Harrison, Antonio Gates, absolutely to me. Anquan Bolden, Willie Anderson, Eric Allen. There's a lot of good names on there. I don't know that anybody I say absolutely, other than I do think that Antonio Gates is a Hall of Famer.
That and the back to the explosive receiving tight end, Antonio Gates.
One of the original big-bodied, box-out, basketball player kind of go-up-and-get-it tight end. Go-to. He was one of Dan Faust's main weapons. I think Faust is in, right?
Wait, who did you think?
I'm sorry, not Dan Faust.
Philip Rivers?
Thank you. God bless it. I was thinking Kellen Winslow as I was watching it. But Gate, Philip Rivers.
Well, you look at that. You had Shannon Sharp. You had a really good era at tight ends.
Yeah,
man.
you did. Yeah, you did.
Actually, like when we talk about with Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez.
Wait, who'd you say? Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. I was in the wrong era right there. 100% I was in the wrong era.
I was questioning myself for a second.
No, it was, Rivers.
And then, what we saw with Jason Witten, and then the emergence of Gates, Jimmy Graham, those guys at the tight end position. I think when you look at Gates and versus his peers at the tight end position, it puts him closer to that guy. Like, yes, he's going to cross the Hall of Fame threshold with the numbers that he put up.
23 through 20. That's a long career too. With the Chargers, all with the Chargers. It says Los Angeles, but never Los Angeles. It was all San Diego. There's good players. Anquan Bolden was good. I never thought of Anquan Bolden as a Hall of Famer. Did you?
Doesn't strike me initially.
James Harrison, the linebacker of the Steelers. That feels like a Hall of Famer to me. You just remember the play made in the Super Bowl, returning the touchdown against the Cardinals. That was big. Torrey Holt's borderline for me.
Been there for a little bit.
Yeah. Luke Kuechly. And then there's Eli. And it's going to be really interesting to see how Eli gets treated. He is a semifinalist. They're down to 25. Is Eli, I mean, we've been having this conversation since he was still playing. Is he a Hall of Famer? He won 2 Super Bowls. Is there a quarterback that's won 2 Super Bowls who's not in the Hall of Fame?
In there? And then you look at the rest of it, you're like, Eli Manning's not a Hall of Famer. But you just hyper-focus on those 2 Super Bowls he won, who he beat in those Super Bowls.
Tom Brady, both times. Right? There's something to it, and there's something to who it is you played against. Hines Ward, 98 through 2011. That's a long career. Wide receiver, Pittsburgh Steelers the whole time. Hall of Famer? Reggie Wayne was right in that same era. Is he a Hall of Famer? All right. Who is a better receiver to you? Hines Ward or Reggie Wayne? It was about the same era. Ward was 98 to 2011. Reggie Wayne was 01 to 14.
I think Reggie Wayne and Torrey Holt are closer to being the conversation about receivers, what they're asked to do, but also the fact Hines Ward did a lot of blocking for the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's an important member of those teams.
Yeah. Darren Woodson, Cowboys safety from 92 to 03. He's a finalist as well. It's a really interesting list. I don't know that a bunch of guys just jump off the page and go abso-freaking-lutely. But, and you start going through it, all right, yeah, yep, but that's out. All right, when we come back, there's a lot of talk about Deion going somewhere. Where's he going? His kids are gone, he's gone, where's he going? Deion responded to that, what he said. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in Autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is Pro View. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
College football playoff standings are out. Boise State currently has a bye in the first round, even though they're ranked 12. We went through that. My analogy is, why are the rankings different than the seedings? And when you understand the rules and how the top ranked college football conference champions, so the top 4 ranked college champions receive a bye. They don't have to be all ranked 1 through 4, but they're the highest ranked champions, and that's how it is. So I kind of made the analogy of the rankings are like when you had a math class or an algebra class. You had to show your work, how you got to the answer. That's kind of what it is. You can see how they got there. And while Penn State fans can gripe or whatever, Tennessee fans can gripe, that's the rules. And at least you know what the rules are going in, and will they tweak things or they gonna change it? I don't think they move it off of the champions, because I think that completely takes away any need for a championship game in conference, and that's a lot of money, and I don't think anybody's willing to leave money on the table. So it's where we are. I don't think the system's bad. You're learning a new system. You're going through it, and it feels to me like it's working. So we had that this morning. We talked about the Jets situation. They fired their general manager, Joe Douglas, yesterday, and the story came out that their owner, Woody Johnson, wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers. And I asked the question earlier, and I'll ask it to you again. With the Jets on a bye this week, they just fired their general manager. Woody Johnson, the owner, evidently wants to bench his soon-to-be 41-year-old quarterback. Has Aaron Rodgers played his last game in the NFL? If he doesn't play again with the Jets this year, where's he playing? I think that makes it pretty clear they do not want him back. There's a way out. They can eat some cap space and get out of it. Does somebody else take a shot? I mean, why? I got a guy who's 41 who looks like a shell of himself, who disrupts everywhere he goes, who's kind of a malcontent and a different cat, and I just watched him blow up an organization with the Jets. I mean, literally, he was at the center blowing the whole thing up, right? Well, what did he do, Jeff? What did he do?
Okay. Didn't live up to expectations. He's an edgy guy. He's going to create a different feel around the locker room. And you bring up a great point. But I also have watched sports in the NFL, not as long as some people, but know that owners are crazy. And it just takes one of these guys with a franchise that's been doing the same thing the Jets were for so long, just treading water. They don't have a guy in right now, don't have a high draft pick coming up. I'll take that 1 year run on Aaron Rodgers. Why the heck not?
Yeah. All right, 505-246-0610. All right, there's been a lot of talk about Deion Sanders. I'm just giving you a lot to talk about. And I said, I don't know, 2-3 weeks ago, JJ, the quieter it got coming out of Boulder, the less noise that was coming out of there from their team, the better they got. They are 2 wins away from playing in the Big 12 championship game in a spot on the line in the college football playoff. They're 8-2. They've doubled their win total from 2023. Deion's name has been bantied about everywhere. Michael Irvin mentioned it for the Cowboys job, if and when Mike McCarthy moves on. His sons, Shedeur and Shiloh, are seniors. They're going to go into the draft. Shedeur is going to be the top quarterback, maybe the top player taken. Of course, Deion's going to go coach his kids. Quote Deion yesterday, "I'm happy where I am, man. I got a kickstand down." You know what a kickstand is? That means I'm resting. I'm good. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm enthusiastic about where I am. I love it here. Truly do. End quote. He's making good money. Can make better. 5 years, $29.5 million, almost $6 million a year. That's his deal. He'll get a raise after the season to keep him there. Quote, says a lot about what we plan on being and the stability that we're going to be here for a while. We ain't going nowhere. We're about to get comfortable. End quote, Deion Sanders. He'll have a different team, man. He's not going to have Torrey Hunter, Hunter.
Travis
Thank
Hunter.
you. I knew when I said it was wrong. Travis Hunter. He's not going to have Shiloh, Shedeur. Now, he'll recruit. Dudes want to go play for Deion. They want to go play in Colorado. As long as he's there, he'll recruit. You think he's there next year?
Well, before the quote you read, there was a very important sentence said by Deion Sanders. He said, "There's a price for everything."
Of course.
And what do kickstands do? They don't keep you stationary.
No, they hold you up.
Pop them up and you're on the next one.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. He's going to get more money. They're going to throw more money at him now.
I don't think that any coach, any player in this day and age in any sport, until I see you walk on the field of game one, I can't sit here and ever say with any of these statements that they're all in next year.
I think that's right. I think it's got to be what's your feel on it? Deion probably. Now I say that, and you could be wrong. Will he ever be hotter as a coaching commodity than he is right now? When he got there, they were a 1-win team. He's got him at 8-2, with an opportunity to win a couple more games and play for a conference championship and get in the playoff. He's doing it with players. Now, every coach does it with players. He's got his kid, but these are guys that were playing at Jackson State that everybody said, but they're not going to be able to play in the Big 12. Travis Hunter's going to be a top 5 pick, maybe higher. So is Shedeur. Shiloh's going to go. Is he ever going to be hotter than this? I mean, if he wants to cash in and make that gigantic bag.
It would be right now.
Right? I don't know if Florida State, his alma mater, is going to open. I don't know how they buy out Jay Norvell.
Or Mike.
Or Mike Norvell, because Jay Norvell's at Colorado State. Man, I'm killing it on names today, aren't I? Killing it. I just saw Jay Norvell on Friday. Mike Norvell.
Jay Norvell, that's another coach put in there. That was 3-4 weeks into the season. They're like, how are we getting this guy out of here?
Now he's undefeated in conference play and really could script the whole playoff. Like, honestly, if he wins out and beats Boise State, and don't put it past him. Do you think Boise State...
I think they're double-digit underdogs in that game.
Any chance they lose down another game before the playoff?
I don't believe they will.
I don't believe they will either. But, dude, here's the deal. Every year, mid to late November, I watch mess that I never thought would happen. Did you see Kansas beating BYU? A 4-6 or 3-6 Kansas team? No way, right?
Well, they just beat Iowa State.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. Every week something silly happens. Every week something kind of crazy happens. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I think that Boise State, who they got this week? Wyoming on the road. I mean, can Oregon State get them? Oregon State just got shut out by Air Force. They get them at home. And then they get either Colorado State or UNLV. Do you think the league is hoping Colorado State runs the table because it's the cleanest slate for Boise State? Like, you and me both believe UNLV is better than Colorado State, right?
Yes.
Colorado State is undefeated because they did not have to, well, not because, but
Colorado State was able to take advantage of the schedule. That's what we've talked about for a lot of these teams in the Mountain West this season with that group of teams that were trying to be better than average, and Colorado State took big advantage of that. I think UNLV is better than Colorado State, but Colorado State's going to be in that position. And if you're the Mountain West Conference, if you get more money out of this, you want to squeeze all you can out of these next 2 years. Now, I will say, you brought up the question earlier. How you feeling about Boise State? Don't like the smugness? Don't like the attitude from all those people?
Yeah, if you're a Lobo fan, like, are you glad that...
If you're a Lobo fan.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting back going, this is what you're screaming you can't do because you're in the Mountain West Conference. And here you are with this schedule, not flying a Pac-12 banner, potentially with a first-round bye.
Yeah. I think while they're flying the Mountain West banner, you're saying, yeah, they're one of us. Yes. No, I think you got to be pulling for, A, you get paid off of it. And B, everything you just
I just
laid out.
look at them and I'm like, what was the whole point of this? Like, this is like you're screaming, you're being held back, we need bigger stage, and you're sitting there on the cusp of a first-round bye.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. You're saying why? All the things you said, you had to go to the Pac to get away from these bottom feeders. You weren't going to be able to do this because you're with these bottom feeders like New Mexico and Wyoming and San Jose State, and yet here you are. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. You are doing it. You went out and you scheduled Oregon. You know, yeah, I think that's fair. By the way, the rest of their schedule wasn't amazing. Georgia Southern's nice. They went on the road and beat them 56-45. Portland State. Washington State, who the Lobos beat, they beat them 45-24. And then Oregon State coming up. It's not like they went up, but the Oregon game going on the road and damn near beating them is it. And then they took care of business the whole way. Their closest game was the UNLV game. That's what I'm saying. If somehow Fresno State can clip Colorado State this weekend, and Fresno State's playing for bowl eligibility this weekend, the Dogs have taken a dive, and I don't know what's happened up there. Right? They lost to Air Force, who all of a sudden has won 2 in a row. They lost to Hawaii at home, 21-20. They lost Washington State. I mean, like you're looking at it, I'm going, what the hell's going on? But if they somehow figure it out, because they've got enough talent to beat Colorado State, then I think the intrigue in the championship game, assuming UNLV takes care of business, UNLV's got San Jose State and Nevada left. The intrigue in the Mountain West title game becomes way, way upped when it's UNLV versus Boise State, as opposed. Hey, look, Colorado State would be. I watched them in person the other day. They're good. They're well coached. They've got playmakers. It's a nice team. They're really good, and they've taken care of business.
And they lost their best wide receiver.
Yeah. Who's a pro
earlier in the season?
Yeah, who's a pro? Yeah, he's terrific. 505-246-0610. It's a great point. They didn't have to go to the Pac to be able to do this. In fact, the two teams who were still waving the Pac banner didn't get there. But they did out of the Mountain West. Devin Dampier scheduled to be with us, the Lobo quarterback, the Associated Press National Player of the Week. Scheduled to be with us coming up at 9 o'clock this morning. Really looking forward to that conversation. Gift giving time. Jewelry on the list. Want to do something really nice for them? Maybe you're thinking about an engagement ring. John Thomas Jewelers is your place. They are terrific. They are different. It is an amazing, amazing jewelry store. And the first time I went in there, I'm like, wow, this is different, right? It's on the 3rd floor of a building across the street from the mall. You go up there, 2440 Louisiana Boulevard Northeast, Suite 310. You got to go upstairs. You got to want to get there. And you walk in, you're like, holy smokes. They got all these different rings you could try on. And the customization abilities that they have is insane. They've got over 3,000 ladies and men's bridal rings on hand. They've got the only free lifetime nationwide warranty in Albuquerque. And they got the ability to custom make any ring you can dream of. And it's all done right there on premises in their state-of-the-art design center. So whether you're looking for an engagement ring or you're shopping for a holiday present that you'll never forget, you have got to go by John Thomas Jewelers. See why they're the only 5-star Google-rated full-service jeweler in town. The fastest-growing jeweler in New Mexico for 3 straight years, and they have been voted best jeweler in Albuquerque 4 straight years. They've even been voted America's coolest jewelry store by In-Store magazine, and it's really that cool. Visit them in Louisiana, 1 block south of Manal. The 3rd floor of the Lewis University building, so it's directly to the east of the mall on Louisiana. 2440 Louisiana Northeast. Suite 310 on the 3rd floor. John Thomas Jewelers. Go by and buy that wow gift. You can thank me later.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. Our law firm was founded by my father, Thibaut J. Chavez, with one goal: to get New Mexicans the help they need. That's why we built a different kind of law firm. We focus on family values, dedicated service, and we make a real contribution by giving back to our communities. We can't change what happened to you or your loved ones, but we can help you get back on the road to recovery. We're by your side, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank
the Cavaliers were the final unbeaten team. Meanwhile, don't look now, but the Lakers are on a roll. And Dalton Connect, that other guy they drafted.
Who would have thunk it? LeBron was right last night. He's like, he was the SEC Player of the Year.
Yes.
Got a little lucky landing that guy at 16th overall.
37 last night. He tied a rookie record with 9 3-pointers. Lakers beat Utah 124-118. He got a lot of playing time because Rui Hachimura's been out. He made Wally Pip Rui Hachimura, huh? I mean, it's going to be hard to keep him off the floor.
This is what the Lakers need. They needed depth. They needed players to rely on.
A damn shooter
through the season.
Yeah,
like Hachi's going to play because he gives them just a different edge at forward. But yeah, Connect's not going to lose out minutes because he stretches the floor.
LeBron was talking about, to your point, this young man who was an older guy, right? And it's just funny how the pendulum swings. You used to have to get the 18-year-old kid who played 1 year, and then the pendulum swings back. You want experience and maybe an older player. But here's a guy who's 6'6", who's All-America, to your point, the SEC Player of the Year at Tennessee. And they get him at number 17. Everybody passed, and we're going to go back, and again, one game, dude, but he's been playing. LeBron James on Dalton Connect, quote, "They didn't find DK. The other 16 teams bleeped it up. Did anybody want him? Bleep. They just didn't bleep it up. You don't find a SEC Player of the Year." That's a lot of bleeps, by the way.
Bleep, yeah.
LeBron's getting a lot freer with the bleeps in his post-game sessions. He gives way less. He has way less bleeps to give. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So the Lakers are nice, man. And I don't know how much longer LeBron's got, and dude's playing as well as anybody in the league right now. But this dude last night was something. I was thinking around. Giannis is really unhappy there. If LeBron's got another year or two, is Giannis the next guy the Lakers? The Lakers always have that superstar when they're good, right? I mean, whether it's Magic, Kareem, Shaq, Kobe, LeBron, whomever, right? I mean, it's that play.
Yeah, once LeBron clears out, you're open for business with all these guys.
Right?
Absolutely.
But what a good night in the National Basketball Association last night. All right, emails, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. JJ, Lobo women play South Carolina State tonight. Is that correct?
That is correct.
It says, it's from Rod. It looked like, it said Lady Lobo's RPI is 267. Is RPI something you pay attention to?
No.
All right, well, he does. It looked like Bradbury's scheduled okay, but opponents have let them down. South Carolina State's number 355 isn't going to help.
South Carolina State wasn't an opponent you schedule to be good.
Right.
It's the opponents you schedule before you play Gonzaga, UC Irvine, North Texas, and New Mexico State twice.
And right after Texas Tech, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't Texas Tech and Gonzaga. And
nothing to do with strength of schedule.
He doesn't like this. So everybody else can have a night off. When I say a night off, that's not fair. Have a game like this. You better win tonight.
Yeah.
But, yeah. Gus. I haven't read this yet. Maybe I should. You're the reason Lobo football will never be taken seriously, Jeff. Any other program in the country, it wouldn't even be a question. If football and men's basketball played at the same time, the main announcer would call football, and you, the backup, would travel with basketball. But the fact that Portnoy was at Madison Square Garden shows the pecking order of the programs on campus. This is reflected in the community, so it shouldn't surprise anyone the announced crowd of the game was only 14,000. I'm the reason. All right, so what about the week before, Gus? I'm just asking. Rob was with football, I was with basketball. I'm merely the backup, JJ. Rob had an opportunity. It's his job. He had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, maybe, to go call a game at Madison Square Garden. You blame him?
Not at all in that scenario.
He chose to go with basketball. I said, all right, I'll grunt it and call this historic football game. Look, I know how lucky I got. I know what I fell into on Saturday. I hope I didn't screw it up. But
you did not screw it up.
All I know is I had a blast doing it, right? But it's my fault, JJ, according to Gus. It says, you are the reason Lobo football will never be taken seriously.
It's a theory. Don't think there's a lot behind that.
Yeah.
Because if football is good and they're winning like this, then it's up to the fans, not decision an announcer makes.
I did talk to the interim AD yesterday, and I said, "Hey, you still bask in the glory?" He says, "Are you?" He says, "You're going to Hawaii, right?" And I said, "No, JJ's going to Hawaii, man. I ain't going because I am 2-0."
At this point, they might.
I am
kick me
2-0
off that flight.
I am 2-0 against ranked teams.
Yeah.
You
want to go?
No, man, I'm good. My little girl's coming home for Thanksgiving. Enjoy Hawaii. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, don't screw it up. Look,
there's a lot of people that when they see me, they're gonna be like, "Bleep." Oh, bleep! They're gonna go LeBron James on it.
I know how lucky I've been over the last couple of weeks. I got to call, and look, some years, I call games against Montana State, and I've done, and some years I get really cool games, and some years I get none. I don't think I got any basketball last year, in fact. Some years I go to Florida and get a tournament. We did Miami and UCLA one year. I got the Wooden one year. I know how lucky I am, man. I guess I'm not screwing it up because they keep asking me back, but I just enjoy the opportunity. That's all. But yeah, it's my fault, JT. Football will never be taken seriously. Dan says, did Juan Jose just say Indiana's strength of schedule is unimpressive, Jeffrey? You were talking about football? He said Hoosiers are 77, Lobos are 85. Yeah, but Indiana's...
We're talking about one as a college football playoff team and not one that's fighting to get to a bowl game with winning the last game of the season. Different conversations and just ridiculous that you need to throw the Lobos under the bus when those two do not go hand in hand.
Yeah, it's apples to walnuts. I mean, really, you're comparing apples to walnuts.
You're actually proving the point of a lot of people that don't think Indiana should be there.
Yep. Yes, Indiana is the reason that came up is because they are in contention for the college football playoff. Lobos are fighting for bowl eligibility. Yeah, there's a big difference, and so yeah. Omar says now you can see why Omar is no longer on the Cowboys bandwagon. I knew this was going to be a rough season, but finally rid of this quarterback, Jerry could have hit the transfer portal hard in the offseason. But when he re-upped, it tied his hands for the next 4 seasons, and now that quarterback is coming off a significant injury. Those bags on heads at Texas Stadium are going to get a major workout over the next few years. It's from Omar. Okay. You want RPI stuff? James is on that. He says the women beat Gonzaga, right? Or that's Conzaga, right, Jeff? Zag's RPI is only 188. This isn't the same Zag squad we've seen in the past. Lady Lobos get them at University Arena, right?
That's the hope, but Gonzaga still has potentially the best player the Lobos will see all season. Von Ejim, who was one of the 12 players representing Canada at the Olympics. The Becky Hammond Player of the Year last year, West Coast Conference Offensive and Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah, but they're only 188 in the RPI.
Yeah, they played four games this season.
It's so good. It's so good. You want me to stop reading these?
I think I just need to simmer down.
I don't know that you do. I don't know. Gopher sent me a link. He said, are you taking requests? And sent me something. He said, can you play me a little 17? Jeff, there's a reason the NFL was originally designed for 14 games. If you were struggling, there are 2 games after Thanksgiving, then the mess is over. Now you have another month of agony. Speaking of which, one of those is Bucks at Cowboys. Despite massive TV ratings, NBC has to flex off Sunday night, right? Probably, yeah. Gopher, there's a reason they don't play 14 anymore. They play 17.
Money. Money.
100%. And the crazy part is, we'll all still watch. You know why? Because you're still playing fantasy football. You're still betting. You're still doing. What's your more or less game that you play? We used to play.
Yeah.
All right, 505-246-0610. Coming up at 9 o'clock this morning, that would be in 32 minutes from right now. Devin Dampier scheduled to join us, the Lobo quarterback, the Associated Press National Player of the Week. Come back immediately. We want to talk a little Mountain West Conference hoops. We'll go around the league a little bit. Lobos next up against Grambling tomorrow night out at the Pit. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Brought to you. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as red and green.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
State fans are up there on the list of like bleep off.
I will not miss their fan base or their media base, to be honest with you, when they leave the Mountain West.
Well, you know, Madsen's QBR and completion percentage, like, okay. He turns around and gives to Ashton Genty.
Yeah. Look, your guy gives to Eli Sanders. Yeah, they got 2,000-yard backs, dude.
And the quarterback in this context in college football, you don't just have to say you have to be a pocket passer, you have to be a pocket passer. Not quite this.
That's really been an issue. Yeah. So they're all up hurting their feelings if somebody's compared to what's the guy's name? Maddox Madsen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong, and he's going to get all kinds of display when he goes out and plays. But Devin has been like he was good against Arizona, good against Auburn.
What Devin is doing is completing passes downfield and being Ashton Genty at the same time.
Wow, yeah. Nobody else can be any good. Just us. That's the Boise State fan base. It is, and I would tell. I mean, if our buddy Bob Beeler was on with us right now, he'd probably be good to get on. Don't you think at this point? Maybe next week I'll reach out to him. He's the voice of the Broncos. It's something, man. That fan base. All right, Louisville basketball. Ladies play tonight at the Pit. JJ will have the call right here on the Sports Animal. He'll crack the mic at 6:30 for a pregame show for a 7 o'clock tip-off. Tomorrow, Louisville men back at it in the Pit against Grambling over on News Radio KKOB. JJ, so far, men's basketball, Mountain West Conference teams are 2-2 against Power Conference teams. Lobos are 1-1. They beat UCLA, lost to St. John's. San Diego State lost to number 3 Gonzaga, and Boise State beat Clemson at home. So 2-2. You're going to start now getting these tournaments and opportunities. And you're interested because the next 2 to 3 weeks are really going to go a long way in determining how deep, how high net ranking the Mountain West Conference is. And JJ is going to go a long way in determining how many teams you get in the NCAA tournament.
These are important times of the year, and I know we just had a lot of discussion about RPIs, but it's early. The opportunities are ahead for so many teams to build that.
Boise State's going to be in the Cayman Islands. What's today's date? So later, in about 4 days. There's an opportunity. Maybe they get Boston College. They'll play South Dakota State or Duquesne. Missouri State, High Point, Old Dominion. So this is not the deepest field, but hell, they're going to Cayman Islands. Colorado State's going to play in the Acrisure Invitational. They get Washington in the first round and then Santa Clara or TCU in the second round. 2 really good opportunities for Colorado State. Nevada's going to play an ESPN events tournament in Charleston. They get Vanderbilt in the first round. JJ, they get Seton Hall or VCU in the second round. And the other side's got FAU, Oklahoma State, Miami, and Drake. How about the field that we put together in Charleston?
That one's pretty nice.
That one's a nice field. Lobos have that Arizona State and then either USC or St. Mary's coming up. San Diego State's got a lot of opportunity. They got to get healthy. They got Creighton, Oregon, and then either Houston, Alabama, Rutgers, or Notre Dame. So they got 3 good games coming up. UNLV's got opportunity in the Arizona tip-off. Mississippi State in the first round. They get Butler or Northwestern in the next round. And Utah State's the only team right now that's getting votes. They'll play in the NIT season tip-off. Monica's going down there next week in Orlando. St. Bonaventure in the first round, then Northern Iowa or North Texas in the next round. So, opportunities, man. I don't know. What do you got to win 3/4 of them? I mean, do you feel for this league? Because people are going to be a little skeptical this year. Big East made a lot of noise. You just lost to a Big East team. You got opportunities against them. Teams got to win, man. It's great to schedule them. I saw Craig Thompson, the former commissioner of the Mountain West Conference, last Friday. But he used to come on the show all the time. We talk about how in football, yeah, you're scheduling, but now you got to beat them, right? It's one thing to schedule them, and you got to schedule them, but you got to go out and start winning. Last year they did. One other basketball note in the league, Steve Alford. On Saturday, former Lobo coach, he and Nevada beat Santa Clara 85-59. It was the 100th win for him at Nevada, which seems so quick. It's history for Steve. Steve and Lefty Driesell, who most famously was the longtime coach at Maryland, are the only 2 coaches in college basketball history to win 100 or more games at 4 different Division I programs. Lefty Driesell did it at Georgia State, James Madison, Maryland, and Davidson. Of course, Steve's done it at Nevada, UCLA, New Mexico, and Iowa. He had 78 wins at Southwest Missouri State. That's a big deal, man. You start looking where he is, by the way, as far as active coaches, and he's like in the top, I want to say 6.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy how many games the dude's won, and he's only 58 years old.
Yeah, this is going to be a very large number for him when it's all said.
He's going to be tickling, I got to believe, the all-time mark by the time he's done. I mean, if he decides he wants to do it for another 10 years, and he's won 683 games. You win an average 20 games a year? Is that fair?
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to be tickling 900 wins. Yeah, it's insane. All right, 505-246-0610. Come on in. I got emails from you. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Problem solved. Rod solving my problems. I'm not going to Hawaii. I don't want to go to Hawaii. You'll blame it on me if you lose, though, right?
Yes.
It'll be my fault if. So it's my fault. What is
your fault? Football doesn't matter,
right?
Despite them winning Saturday night,
it says
Portnoy didn't call the game.
You are the reason Lobo football will never be taken seriously, Jeff. Like literally, that's what the subject line said. It's all me. All right.
You are pretty impressive figure in this community.
I'm a freaking clown. They got to fill in on 2 games and got lucky. Unless you're superstitious and then believe in that stuff, and I did wear the same exact
clothes.
clothes.
There might be some people that are really working behind the scenes to get you to Hawaii.
Yeah, enjoy Hawaii. My little girl's coming home. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Got shots? Got shots? Got shots?
During Got Shots, participating providers open their doors for any child who presents for immunizations, regardless of whether they are a patient or whether they have insurance.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride barbecue chicken and ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 820 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez.
But it's not like, well, I was no. JJ was asked to go to Hawaii on his merit. He's going to be on the broadcast, and I don't want it to be thought, you're going because I'm not. That's absolutely not 100% not the case. So I just wanted that to be.
I'm sorry that needed to be cleared up.
Yeah, I just wanted that to be. As I'm looking, somebody sent me, you could go, and no, I can't. I wasn't asked to go. It's JJ. JJ earned this. JJ's got this, and he's going to go on that trip and to Hawaii because I'm the reason. Because Rod's the problem solved. You change Addie's flight from Ann Arbor to Honolulu, you can have your turkey at Aloha Stadium before watching what Lobo fans are hoping will be the beating of the stuffing out of Hawaii. Yeah, no, I wasn't invited. It's your trip. All right. And you've earned it and you deserved it. You got big breaking news. This is pretty big.
Yeah, Dallas Morning News reporting that FC Dallas is set to name Eric Quill their next head coach. Of course, Eric Quill took New Mexico United to first place in the Western Conference. He's a finalist for USL Championship Coach of the Year, and it looks like he will be in the MLS next season with FC Dallas.
So New Mexico United will have a new head coach, technical manager next year, Eric Quill. And I was talking to somebody the other day. With United, we'll be good if EQ stays around. We're going to be good. He's not staying around. He's been promoted and got a job up in the big league. And so is Troy Lesesne still coaching up there? Because now that would be he's certainly the second United head coach who has been a head coach in MLS.
Yeah, I know Troy was doing some interim stuff as well, but I haven't looked at the full list of MLS changes after the season.
That's a big deal. Howard, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hi, Howard.
Good morning, Jeff. Of course it's your fault, Jeff. Everything's your fault. It's your fault what's going on in Dallas. You know that, right?
I do. I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you're man enough to own it.
Yeah, I heard it's my fault at UCLA, too.
Yeah, exactly. All those that think Mike McCarthy will be the Cowboys coach next year, raise your hand.
Yeah, nobody.
Oh, yeah, well, this is radio. I forgot you can't see me, but I'm not raising my hand.
Yeah, nobody.
Anyway, Devin Dampier, national recognition. My goodness, it's going to be so hard to hang on to this kid for next year. What do you guys think our chances are?
I don't want to get into that. I mean, look, I think you realize that you're in for a battle to keep this young man. I hope he stays. I'm not going to ask him about it because it's not fair to him. But yeah, there's going to be opportunities for Devin Dampier to go somewhere else. Are the chances sure as hell not putting him at 100%, and I might put him at less than 50, but I wouldn't put him at 0.
Well, and I'm going to tell you, if he has a chance to better his life based on his performance and how he's developed, good for him, and go chase that dream, right?
Got to do it. You got to take care of yourself. Yeah. Got to take care of yourself.
Exactly. Hey, I got another question for you guys. What kind of money is Alford making in Nevada?
1.4-ish, right, JJ? It was like 10 years, I want to say $11-12 million. I'll find that for you.
Yeah, and Noodles is still his assistant, correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Isn't his son on his staff, too?
I don't know that that's right. No, I mean, Corey is the head coach in Indiana somewhere, and Bryce is still playing, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, well, he's carved a nice little niche for himself in Nevada, and good for him. I'm glad, and again, he's another one. When he left to UCLA, I was like, you got to do what you have to do for the betterment of your life. And the same applies to Devin Dampier. But I'm so proud of that young man and the coaching staff, the way they've helped, develop his skills and get him to the level he's at. And, I'm just insanely
enjoy it.
surprised that we're going to be talking bowl game.
Got to hit it, man. Thanks, Howard. $11.6 million over 10 years is Alford's contract. 10 years, $11.6 million. Devin Dampier, National Player of the Week. Lobo quarterback next on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
High school sports are back. You can watch every ProView Network broadcast online on the NFHS network. Every moment from every game from every sport, including all NMAA state championship games. Get your monthly pass now. Just go to ProViewNetworks.com, click on the NFHS logo, and sign up today. Watch New Mexico's best.
What's going on, Lobo Nation? Ja'Cory Krosky-Mir here. And I'm Devin Dampier. The Lobo football team is going through some changes, but we're here to stay. We'll put in the work on the field and in the weight room, but we'll need your help off the field. 505 Sports Adventure is leading the charge in the NIL space. And you can be part of it. You make my heart better.
Try this shit better than all my intentions. Locked in shorty, you got my attention. See your baby, I get you the business. Touchdown and pay you a visit.
I was born in New Mexico. I grew up on these streets. I got in trouble here, and I fought my way back in Burquia. I love New Mexico, especially the people. Now I'm using my training, tenacity, and energy to fight for you. I'm Adam Oki, lawyer, fighter, and New Mexican. I was a local athlete here in New Mexico, so I'm proud to support your local athletes.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong, and we're still as local as Red and Green.
Hi everyone, my name is Master Sergeant Jacob Groves. I am a Air Force Special Warfare Pararescueman. Air Force Special Warfare are proud supporters of ProView Network and New Mexico Youth Sports.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. It's the OD in the AM with 3-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Winning is really fun, right? Winning is fun. What a great Saturday. You've been yearning for it. You got to enjoy it, and I think you're still basking in it. Good morning to you. Opening drive, Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck. Thank you for being with us on this beautiful, chilly Wednesday morning. Lobo football beats Washington State 38-35 on Saturday out at University Arena. And you've heard the numbers. First win over a ranked team in 21 years. First win at home over a ranked team in 30 years. The one that boggles my mind is first win over a top 20 non-conference opponent since 1940. Just bonkers stuff. And the awards have been coming in, the accolades for Devin Dampier. Lobo sophomore quarterback has been named Associated Press National Player of the Year, the Manning Award Star of the Year with the Sugar Bowl. I'm probably missing I mean, they're just everywhere. They're deserved. How about Mountain West Offensive Player? I guess that matters too. 174 yards through the air and a touchdown. Ran for 192 and 3 touchdowns. Became the first player in the history of the program to be a quarterback and rush for over 1,000 yards. Broke the season record, Stoney Case's record for total yards in a season. He joins us this morning. Devin Dampier joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Good morning, Devin. How you living?
Man, good morning. I'm living good. How are you?
Yeah, you are. Kind of an unreal probably season, but I got to believe last few days have just been bonkers.
Yeah, no, it has been a lot for sure from a social media standpoint. But, got the teammates and everybody, hold me down, keep me humble.
How long did it take to return all the messages? Are you still doing it?
Yeah, they are still going on. And, I do love it. I love being able to, reach back out to my community. Those guys believed in us getting that win. So it's always good to, recognize that.
Yeah, you're so humble. Why are you so humble? Where does it come from? Because the accolades that are coming in and everything that's being poured upon you, every time I hear you and every time we've spoken, there's a humility, but a confident humility. Where's it come from?
Yeah, there's always a person bigger than me. God is my number one. So, I obviously know my position, nothing's possible without him. And just also, I never try to only look at myself. There's a lot of reasons why I am the way I am and why I'm here today. So just the amount of people that's helped me get to this journey, it would, be really selfish of me to say I did it myself.
Yeah, he's Devin Dampier, Lobo quarterback. You say I am who I am. Who are you? What have you become?
I think I just become a better person on and off the field continuously, and that's all I ask for out of myself every day is to make sure I'm getting that 1% every day.
Yeah, let's go back to Saturday for a few minutes and look back on it because it was so special. And you guys kicked the field goal. You're not on the 2-yard line. The motion penalty comes back. It pushes you back, and so you kick a field goal. You go up by 3, and they've got a great quarterback on the other side, John Mateer. They come back. I'm not going to lie. I thought they were going to run the clock down and try to score at the very end and leave you almost nothing. They go over the top, leave you 3 minutes and 12 seconds and 2 timeouts. And I was on the radio call, and I said to Dontrell Moore, I said, because he was down, we went to the break, I said, you're fine. You got a quarterback who is hot. You got 2 timeouts. And when you got the ball back on that drive, and, dude, you carried the ball 28 times in this game. What was the thought process? And walk us a little through that drive.
Yeah, after they scored, I was kind of on the sideline. I kind of had like a self moment of, all the times I've been watching, the NFL games late at night, and the announcers always like, they put too much time on the clock for whoever's at quarterback. So in my head, I was like, man, they don't happen to put too much time on the clock because I know we're gonna go get this win regardless. So just being out there and the coach trusted me, putting the ball in my hands to go get those yards. That's I love that. I love having the pressure on my back, and I love to do it for my team. So having an opportunity to go out there and have that last second score, it was great.
Yeah, you got another stud running back there with you. Eli had 108 yards. You ran for 193. You carried the ball, again, 28 times. Devin, how many of the design carries or your carries were called carries? How many of those were options where you decided you saw what was there? How much of it was you and how much was it called?
Yeah, with Eli having, the last couple of weeks that he's been having, he's became a huge part in our run game. So, a lot of them are options, being able to, give him the ball for me to keep it. And I think, that's what opens up me so much is, Eli's been having heck of a run game. So many people are keying on him, and then, obviously opens it up for me, and then, vice versa. So we got a great thing going on in the backfield.
Yeah, you do. Did you realize over the last few days that maybe it wasn't sold out, but what that game meant to the community, maybe even people who weren't there that wish they were there now, what that means, what Lobo football can be?
Yeah, for sure. For them to storm the field, I was able to have communication conversations with a lot of people out there, and just a lot of people recognizing that this stuff hasn't been done here in a while, and people were telling me they've been coming to games for the last 20 years, and this has happened to be their favorite. Like, I think we did a great thing here, and obviously led by Coach Mendenhall. Starts off in here, and you can obviously see that it's transitioning to the community.
He's Lobo quarterback Devin Dampier, the Associated Press Player of the Week, the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Week, the Manning Award, Sugar Bowl Player of the Week. I mean, the accolades keep going. You're not done. You said we've done an amazing thing, but you're not done. You're 5-6 at this point, and sure, a few got away. And I know people talk about the Montana State game and the Wyoming game. You still have an opportunity in front of you if you can go out to Hawaii and win to get this program bowl eligible. What would that mean, and how do you refocus? Maybe the bye came at a good time so you guys can bask in everything that happened and all these accolades that are coming in and then refocus. But you got a lot of work to do, and at some point you got to shut off last week and start looking ahead.
Yeah, for sure. I think me as a player, I'm already kind of transitioning to, already getting into our next week. Obviously the win is fun and all that, but the job's not finished. We still got one more to go, make it to this bowl game. So, and the bowl game is really important to me just because obviously we haven't done it in a while, and just Coach Mendenhall, the earn not given that he makes us live by here, and just the hard things we have done to get to this point, it would mean a lot for us to be able to contribute into playing in this bowl game.
Yeah, talk about that a little bit. What that means, where you come from, and where the program was, and starting 0-4. And I understand what the schedule was. I'm not sure everybody completely does, but you've won 5 of the last 7. What that would mean to complete the turnaround?
Yeah, that I would say that adversity, just to be able to be down like that, just not being able to have a win those first 4 games. I mean, a lot of people tend to shut down and, let the opportunity pass them. And, we just looked at it as an opportunity to, again, shock the world. Obviously, we knew what we were capable of in this building, and it was just time for us, to finally have those full quarter games that, that's what wins football games, playing to the fourth. And
no doubt.
I feel like, the more we got comfortable around each other, the more people wanted to play for each other, and, it happens to just transition to playing to the end.
Devin, I want to go back to last offseason, and the previous coaching staff let go. That's the staff that recruited you, Danny Gonzalez and his coaching staff. And you guys were on the precipice, knocking on the door. If you would have won that last game and you were right there, it would have been 5-7. But they make a change. You had opportunities. What is it that made you stay here instead of exploring other opportunities last offseason to play for Coach Mendenhall and his staff?
Yeah, obviously the community here was, it's something, I can't ask more of. So just the love I already had in the town, and, finally getting to have that conversation with Coach Mendenhall when he first got here, it's everything you want to hear. You want to hear a coach that, wants to make you better and is going to push you to, your limits. And, that's all I asked for. I just asked to be pushed. So obviously that's going to elevate my game. So, for him to live up to his word after he first got here, after we go through spring ball, it made it very clear that, I made the right decision being able to stay here.
You feel like you've become a better football player? You talked about a person. What about as a football player? How much have you grown?
Yeah, as a football player, I feel like not saying I was ever easy on myself, but, I tend to just I'm able to make goals every day for myself. Coach Mendel has made it where, I'm able to kind of break down my day and progressively get better at the things that I want to get better at throughout the week, just off of a mindset and mentality thing. Because, at the quarterback position, the mental aspect is a lot of the game. So just being able to prepare in that way, I feel like that's, has had me had tremendous strides.
Yeah, he's Devin Dampier. He's the Lobo quarterback and the National Player of the Week. He's with us just for a few more minutes. Coach Mendenhall, I asked him the other day about you as Offensive Player of the Year. And Ashton Jeanty is up for the Heisman. He's terrific, and he's a great running back. And Coach Mendenhall made a case for his quarterback, Devin Dampier, to be Player of the Year in this league. Does that kind of stuff matter to you? All these awards that came in, I mean, you're so humble and you talk about team. How much does stuff like that, all these awards that came in this week, how much does that mean to you?
Yeah, during the season, I try not to, pay attention to the outside noise. I try not to get on social media too much just because, obviously I'm focused on our team and everything first. But, anytime you win a reward, it's always, again, rewarding. It just, allows you to know that, you were seen, your efforts were shown, and, obviously, you put a mark on the world. So, obviously, that does mean a lot to hear all the recognition that I've gotten. But, yeah, I mean, it was 1 week, on to the next week, and, hopefully it translates to yearly awards,
Yeah. All these awards, are they plaques? Are they certificates? Are they just social media stuff like the Davey O'Brien? Do you have the new shelf? What do you do with all these awards?
Yeah. I think it means the most to my parents for sure. My parents are like, Dev, you just got another one somehow. Just like, to be able to, celebrate with those people, that's been there with me since the beginning, it just means a lot.
It's so cool. And I love what you're saying about the social media, because I think as much as you can get beat up by the negative when things are going bad, you could probably drown in the positives too, right? And start really loving on yourself if you're not careful.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, you could, there's two ways you can always take things, and, just try not to overly take it in. You just can't get too sunken into that world. It won't do anything good for you if you're overly doing anything. So
yeah, no, you're insanely grounded. Lastly, I want to ask you about the big boys in front of you. A completely restructured offensive line. You had a good line last year, and you got guys playing at power schools all over America that left, and you stayed here. And Coach Mendenhall, this whole staff went out and recruited a line. I want you to talk about what they've done and how good they've been, and they've had to move around because they've been so injured, and you got a center playing left tackle and all over. And then the story of how they're taking their NIL money and spending some of that and giving back to the community and buying turkeys so families in Albuquerque have a Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no, for sure. Starting off with, obviously McKenzie, he started off at left tackle and moved to center, and then mid-game last game, he had to move to right tackle. So, obviously he's been one of our most versatile linemen, just to be able to play in any position that we need him in, and just having Big Wall, obviously that injury this week, but, he's been battling all this year. I've had minor pressures on my right side, and we had a freshman of the week, I think last week or 2 weeks ago at left tackle, Luan, to be able to get that, to be able to, have his first year in there and be able to already win a freshman of the week, that means a lot for that kid. And then we have Richard Pierce and Brock. Those are kind of our older guys, our leaders on our O-line. And, they do a good job just pushing everybody, keeping everybody together. And, I think that's the biggest aspect when it comes to them, because, all five of them have to be on the same page for plays to go well.
Dev, they've kept you healthy. New Mexico has allowed the third least amount of sacks in FBS football. That's 134 teams. They keep you healthy. They keep you in good places.
Yeah, no, for sure. There's a lot of quarterbacks I see, that if they get hit blindsided or, just take a tough hit, happily I haven't had to take that many of those. And, I think that's a huge reason why, I'm able to make it to this point of the season, still feeling the way I am. Just, they're limiting those amount of hits that I'm able to take.
There's something to say about good people. I mean, the fact that they're going out into this community and using their NIL money. I know you saw that story, and I root for. I think everybody loves when you win. I think people love when you win with really, really good people, and the fact that Richard has been spearing that, and they're giving turkeys and giving food to families who might not have Thanksgiving, I think is huge.
Yeah, no, for sure. I think that's obviously the character. Coach Mendenhall has obviously brought out of our team, just to allow them to, give back to the community and, just not be so selfish in these situations. But as a person, that's huge. For anybody to, have their money that, they're earning for what they do and to be able to turn around and, still look at our community and say, hey, we can still do things to better other people with, their hard work money, then there's not too much more you can say about that. Yeah. It just tells you right away what type of person they are.
Keep it going, man. I appreciate this conversation. Proud of who you are, the humble, confident young man that you are, and watching the football player that you're becoming. I think this whole community is proud of what you're doing. Go get another one, man. You got, they got the trip to Hawaii. Everybody loves to go out there. I know Coach is telling you it's a business trip. You got two more. You don't got one more. You've got two more this season. And good luck out there, and congratulations on all the success that you've had so far.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you.
Be well. He is Devin Dampier, and he's the National College Football Player of the Week, and he deserves it. Respond to what you heard. I so enjoy that young man, the humility. He could be he's got a reason to be a cocky kid now. And he isn't. JJ had to go take care of some. His son has got something in school. So look at all of a sudden we went to the bullpen and called him the lefty, or is that the righty? Jerry Wright. See what we did there?
Yeah, I see.
Thanks for filling in for the last hour.
I'm happy to.
I'm with Jerry Wright. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Saturday on Compass Media Network.
Air Force Special Warfare operators are critical thinkers. They maintain a high level of fitness, they take initiative, and they don't.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, rip, plastered, paint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hey, look! It's Dwight Goodman!
Boom! This place is hot. Let's see if anyone needs my help. How about I drive you madman home, huh?
I got this, Dwight. I'm the designated driver. Boom.
Sweet. Does anyone need Dwight's help getting home tonight?
No thanks, Romeo. I've got a taxi all lined up.
Drive safe, Dwight.
Boom! Boom!
We aren't all born with the same opportunities.
but it's the people who care that change everything.
Get ready, Sprout, get ready!
My coach, my teacher, my older sisters, my grandma, my brother, my tutor, my dad, and my mom.
As New Mexicans, it's up to all of us to do our part.
So that no child goes without love.
And no family has to do it all on their own.
They're all our children. Every single person is called to make a difference in the life of a child.
It's up to all of us to do our part.
To pull together.
Pull together.
Pull together.
To make New Mexico the best place to be a kid.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
If you're drunk, blasted, intoxicated, ripped, plastered, taint, destroyed, bruh. If you're like this, you shouldn't be driving.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
What's going on? Who are you guys? Well, sir, I'm going to pick you up at the DWI checkpoint for drunk driving.
And that's when I have to come down to get you out of jail.
Well, temporarily. I'm Judge Torres. They call him the Hammer. Hey, hot off the presses, champ.
I'm real proud of you, honey.
Way to make them happy back home, Captain. Who's that? That's your new buddy in jail.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
You followed him from the first day he signed with the team. You remember the day he poured in 63 points? The night he played a sold-out concert to 30,000 people. The day he gave his infamous speech. That's why you believe in heroes. That's why you remember and collect their memorabilia. All in autographs, where you can meet some of the greats, collect some of the greats, and share your own legacy. Visit All In Autographs, where you can celebrate the great and have your own piece of history.
Great interview with this solid young man. Thank you, guys. I'm rooting for him in life. Hard not to. Toby said, great interview. Solid kid. Yeah, well. It's the kind of guy you root for. And I got the ones you guys are all telling me it's his last game. You might be right. Look, I don't know what he's going to do, and I wasn't going to ask him. It wouldn't be fair to that young man while he's playing at New Mexico, say, hey, are you going to go in the portal? I'm not. I know you guys are asking me. It's just, I'm not doing it. Glenn's telling me people are when people in his ear with big NIL deals. Maybe already. But I asked him why he stayed last year, right? Because he made that decision. But, yeah, no, I got them all. You're all here. I got them. But we'll see. Terry says, hope the best for Devin, whether he stays or goes. All I hear is even a better person, that he is a great football player. Stay healthy and have an awesome future. Yeah. Yeah. That's why I asked him right at the top. Why are you so humble? And every time I've ever heard him, after the game the other day, he says, I can't stand here and pat myself on the back. I mean, it's a team game. No. It's a young man who's gotten really, really good, stayed here for the right reasons, got better as a player, he says, as a person. I'm not going to tell you there's 0% chance he's here next year. I'm not going to tell you there's 100%. What I'm going to tell you is enjoy what you got, because he's damn good. And while he's here, enjoy what you got. Is he here next year? Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. It's college football today, right? It's just how it is. It's where you get players. It's how you got your offensive line, right? Somebody else's guys left, and they came here. So, The other breaking news this morning, the breaking news this morning, New Mexico United will have a new head coach. Their head coach, Eric Quill, has taken the job as the head coach in Major League Soccer's FC Dallas. That came down this morning. So Eric Quill goes to FC Dallas. Dallas Morning News reporting it this morning. He led United to first place in the Western Conference. He's a finalist for Coach of the Year in USL Championship, and he is on to the MLS. He previously manages Dallas' second team, North Texas SC. They won the inaugural USL League One back in 2019. North Texas just won another title again. But Quill was a finalist, as I told you, for USL Championship Coach of the Year, and he's now the head coach at FC Dallas. So United's looking for a new head coach. Bourne says, what exactly has Eric Quill done here, Jeff? Dividers were the best team in your league in June, but championship belts aren't handed out in June. They had one win in the final 2 months of the season. That doesn't scream MLS promotion to me. P.S. Who do you like in the USL finals, Colorado Springs or Rhode Island? Give me Switchbacks, because I got to choose one. He did enough to get himself a job in the MLS. That's what he did. Bourne, I don't know what to tell you. You know, whether you like him or not, because it's a fair question. Did they fade? Did they peak earlier in the year? Yeah, probably. No, they lost in the second round of the playoffs at home. Now you look at the game and they dominated the game. It's a cruel game, but they lost. They lost 1-0. They lost to Las Vegas. And they dominated Las Vegas. Las Vegas had one shot on net in the whole game. It went in the 87th minute. They lost. It's a result-driven business, just like yours, just like mine, right?
Right.
But what did he do? So United's looking for a new head coach. Eric Quill has left, and he will be the head coach in the MLS. So two of their three coaches that they've had over the history of the program, as I was just told. Again, Troy Lesesne, I told you earlier, is their initial coach. But I was just told by somebody within the organization, we must be doing something right. Yeah. Well, it's a great organization. And people are noticing, and so they've had promoted. This is one of those where you say, thanks, coach, for what you did, and best of luck to you. Right? Then he moves on. 505-246-0610. Jerry's in for JJ for the last half hour today, really the last hour. But we only have a half hour left, so thank you for coming out of the bullpen. Your arm warm yet? You feel good?
It's getting there.
You getting there? All right, We'll go throw a little bit on the side. We'll take this break. And then
Still throwing some gutter balls.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll come back. Jerry will be throwing nothing but strikes. 505-246-0610 is how you get here. Emails coming this morning, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com. Adrian's producing on ProView Network, so you can watch the show on our Facebook page, the OD and the AM. We are live throughout the state on Xfinity Channel 26 and on the YouTube channel for ProView Networks. Hey, you see IPS vehicles running around town. Brendan, I say, rolling around town. You see their officers everywhere, whether it's in your neighborhood, whether it's at the retail outlets in which you shop. Who are they? IPS is affordable private security. I trust them. I have for years to watch my home. Businesses, homeowners, trust them because property crime's on the rise, and they protect what you've worked so hard to build. Don't wait to be a victim before you call IPS. Be proactive on this, because once you're a victim, it's obviously too late. IPS installs alarms, cameras, standing guards, whatever it is you need, and they have a state-of-the-art facility. They monitor those cameras 24/7. It raises the level of security around your home and around your business. It's given my family a sense of security. My neighbors now use them. So who's watching your home when you're not there? Make sure it's the good guys. A quick response to your alarm, standing guards at your business is what IPS does. You will sleep better at night. Understand, you can't prevent all the crime. But if you've got no protection, you're much more likely to be victimized. Give them a call, see what they can do for you. The number's 505-897-2420. 505-897-2420. They're online at ipsglobal.com. Passionate about making Albuquerque and Santa Fe better and safer places to live and work.
Get ready to step into the ring of excitement with
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Ruben, and I'm with the New Mexico Educational Assistance Foundation. We are proud sponsors of high school and college sports. Either college or trade, we can help you find the funding you need. Go to nmfafsa.org. That's nmfafsa.org.
I'm David C. Chavis, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steady.
Flash that I was spitting in the break room, though, right?
Yeah.
That's right. Smooth jazz, KNML. Getting your Wednesday started off on the right note. Just got your new cup of Joe. Your buddy named Flo. We're ready to go, bro. Smooth jazz, KNML. Jerry's in for JJ for this last hour. Jack says the backup quarterback equals the backup producer. The most popular player on the team is a backup quarterback. The crowd goes crazy when he enters the game. Let's see if the opening drive responds the same with a backup producer coming in off the bench.
Okay.
They're going nuts for you.
Let me take this home.
I mean, people are just going bonkers. Because Jerry Wright, the lefty. Are you lefty?
I'm a righty.
You got to be righty if your name's
of course,
right.
I'm all right.
If your name's right, you're all right.
Yeah.
You're so right, you're wrong.
Yeah. Huh? As a matter of fact, when I married my wife,
yeah,
she was a Hall, so she's Hall Right now.
No, she's not really. Yeah. Her name's Hall Right.
Well, it's right.
Does she go by it?
She doesn't type.
She had to save it. Hall Right.
Almost. That would have worked well, but
she's a Hall Right.
Hall Right now.
See, that's a Hall Right. That's so people in Kenya too.
Right now.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right. If you want to get in on what Devin had to say, I thought it was really good. If you miss it or want to hear it again, it will be up, right, Jerry, wherever we do podcasts, wherever we'll post that. It'll be on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. You can click on the opening drive, and that'll be available for you. And you can listen to Devin. It's really kind of a treat for us. You know, in past years, we've had players on every Thursday, but because they now practice and they're in meetings during our show, we haven't had a whole lot of players on from from football this year. And so to be able to get that on, that was really cool. Larry says, great interview with Devin Dampier, Jeff. You asked all the appropriate questions. Super impressed with his attitude and demeanor. Great young man, amazing athlete. If he leaves through the portal, we should say thank you for leaving Lobo football in a better place. Same goes for Bronco. It's a different football world with NIL. So love them while they're here and hope they stay loyal. And if they leave us, wish them luck in their next chapter. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate you. Look, enjoy it, man. Maybe he can win a game in Hawaii, he and the rest of that club, and you can extend this season and get into a bowl game. Let's see what happens, right? And then we'll see what happens. What else are you guys coming in on? This is from AC. Says, I find it ironic that Lobo fan throws rocks at Boise State for leaving the Pac-12 to the Pac-12 to get away from lowly UNM. But they get all up in arms when Boise says they have a better quarterback. They actually don't. but don't be hypocrites. I'm not sure I equate the two. JJ was telling you that there was some social media banter back and forth about how Boise State fan swears that, their quarterback is better than yours, which fine, man. You always like your guy, and nobody can be better than them, and they're the ranked team, and they're the team of the college football playoff, and they're okay. No, nobody's saying your running back's better than Ashton Jeanty. As good as Eli Sanders is, they get the best running back in the league. They might have the best running back in the nation. Ashton Jeanty's going to be up for the Heisman Trophy. He's going to be a top draft pick. Like, nobody's arguing, man. And you got the best team. But it might be, and I would argue that it is, that you don't have the best quarterback. Devin Dampier's, and that's fine. Bruce said Cherry Jerry sounding good behind the glass, Jeff. See, look at you get all the love right away.
Thank you.
Walk in. Yeah. Glenn says, when does Devin Dampier have people whispering in his ear that the deal's on the table, his stock's never going to be higher? Maybe now, man. Again, it may happen that way. You won't be surprised. It's like, are you surprised if you're a United fan today that your head coach has been plucked? You can't be, right? They had success, and he's gone on to the big league.
Yeah.
I mean, can you be surprised?
Good for him.
JJ gets plucked, and he gets to go to Hawaii, and he gets a big call. Is that right?
Job opening for me. I played ASO as a kid, so.
Did you?
Yeah, sure.
Were you a good soccer player?
I was not. I was fair to middling. Until I started running cross country in 8th grade.
Was that your game?
And I was getting better. Yeah.
Really?
They moved me back from fullback to halfback because I could run up and down the field after I started.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Soccer was never my thing. I never ever was on a soccer team.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And I think that's great. I think that's why there's so much. Addie tried it too when she was a kid. She didn't love it, but she found lacrosse and loved it. She got to be a little more physical hit. She had a stick in her hand. She got hit with.
Yeah.
It's so funny, man. Watch the first time she just got popped. Right, because lacrosse is physical.
Yeah,
it's physical, and she's a little girl, but man, she got so tougher.
Okay.
I mean, and as she grew into that role, and she was rolling people over. When she came back from, she had a stress fracture. It was junior year. I want to say junior year. So she missed the state cross country championship, and they lost by 4 points. She's like, Dad, I would have made the day. It was tough. But I remember taking her to the doctor right as it was in January, late January, and she was either going to sit out lacrosse season. She had to get cleared from a stress fracture in her leg, and she said, Dad, I think if I don't get cleared, I think I'm gonna play golf this year. I said, can you make the golf team over there? They're pretty good. And she said, yeah, I think I can. But then we went to the doctor and he cleared her, and so you full contact. He's like, yeah, I mean, be careful, work your way into it, but I can go to practice today. She's like, yeah. We left the doctor's office. She got in her car. She's like, peace out, dude. And she went to practice. Came home that night, as pumped that I had seen her in 4 months, right? And she's like, Dad, it was so cool. Betsy knocked me on my ass, and I knocked Ren on her ass, and I like she was just out there. She missed the physicality of the competition. Yeah, that's what athletics is, right?
Yeah.
It's at its purest level. It's what it was. But it was really, really cool. All right, we got in on the Jet stuff, too. If you want to look, this is going to be really fun to watch. I asked you earlier, do you think Aaron Rodgers will ever play a game again in the NFL? It sounds like a stupid question, but if their owner, Woody Johnson, really wanted to bench Aaron Rodgers weeks ago, they talked him out of it, they being the head coach who's now been fired. The general manager, who he fired yesterday, they're on a bye this week. Did they bench him? And he's going to be 41 next week, and he's a shell of himself. If they obviously don't want him back, all right, he's not going there. They can get out of it. They can pay him $23.5 million to go away. Yes, right, Jerry. They can pay him $23.5 million to go away. Me too. I'll go away too. Yeah. You don't have to see me either. Who else is going to pick him up? JJ thinks there'd be a team out there. There'd be a franchise who would have an owner that says, yeah. Well, let's take Aaron Rodgers. And we had a mock conversation earlier. I'm your GM and you're the owner. And he says, yeah, I want him. I'm like, why? He destroyed the culture over there. He's a shell of himself. He's 41 years old. He's coming off an Achilles. Did you see what happened over? Yeah, but we'll sell more tickets, will we? Yeah. People will be talking about it. So what? All right, you're fired. Good, I'm out. Like literally that's how that went. Do you want him? The Athletics reporting that Woody Johnson wanted to bench Rodgers after week 4. Remember when they lost to the Broncos 10-9? He was talked out of it. But now there's a Cold War in the team. And Woody Johnson owns the team. There's whispers he's going to be in the Trump administration in some role, maybe an ambassador. He wants to get this done. Like, who's in a worse spot right now? Are the Cowboys, who are really bad, and saddled to their quarterback for a long time, or what's going on with the Jets? And I think it's the Cowboys because I think the Jets can somehow get out of it for cheaper. And I say $23.5 million is cheaper. Cap hit on Dak is like $82 million next year. But it's bonkers. Speaking of your Cowboys, evidently Jerry Jones has no desire to see Trey Lance start a game this season. Cooper Rush retains the job. Coach McCarthy made it official yesterday. He had his media availability to Mike McCarthy. Cooper Rush will start Sunday at Washington, and the Cowboys will add some packages for Trey Lance. Jerry Jones, the owner, was asked why he wouldn't want to see Trey Lance start a game. Quote, yeah, I think our best chance is to have Rush in there. The goal is to win the game, end quote. What does that tell you? And again, we all sit here and scream. It goes to how the segment started. The backup quarterback's the most popular guy, period. Like Jerry, backup producer. Well, they're in practice every day. They see what you and I don't. I'm going to guess they want to win games, and what they're telling you is, man, Trey Lance just ain't that good. They see him every day. If they're telling you Cooper Rush is what we're going to roll out there, and we think Cooper Rush gives us the best chance to win, and you've watched Cooper Rush, you're just going, really? This is the freaking NFL. That's our best chance? They know what they got. They see Trey Lance every day, and they don't like what they see. And you got a problem. You got a real problem. All right, when we come back, I'll get you ready. Everything you need to know as you go through what day is today? Wednesday. Hit the top headlines from today, and still time for your phone calls at 505-246-0610. That's how to get here, 505-246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. It's the opening drive. Jeff Symbieta and Jerry Wright on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.
I'm a Blaze King customer, and I have been for the last 10 years. Blaze King stoves are very efficient, they're easy to maintain, and they use a lot less wood than you would typically use with a fireplace.
Blaze King, that's a fire.
The heat is on when it's a Blaze King wood stove, controlling heat up to 40 hours on a single load of wood with a built-in thermostat. See for yourself at either Blaze King showroom, Albuquerque and Santa Fe. Blaze King, and now that's a fire.
From the Sandia foothills to the banks of the Rio Grande, generations of families remain. For 5 generations, Gallus Chevrolet has handed down values written in stone, leading the way under sun-filled skies, past the vintage glow of Route 66. Built by generations past, built for generations to come. This is New Mexico. This is Gallus.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indy Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
I'm David C. Chavez, personal injury attorney. For over 4 decades, our law firm has remained steadfast in our commitment to serving the remarkable people of New Mexico that have been injured through no fault of their own. I'm a New Mexican fighting for New Mexicans. I received my bachelor's degree at NMSU and earned my law degree at UNM. I can proudly say I'm both an Aggie and a Lobo. Call now and I will meet with you. 40 years strong and we're still as local as red and green.
I might not be in the cage as much anymore. Just like riding a bicycle, I can pick up the fight from where I left off. I'm not some slick-haired outsider posing with borrowed gloves. I grew up here. New Mexico is in my blood. I'm a New Mexican fighting for other New Mexicans. I'm Adam Oki. I'll be your champion in the courtroom.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Tell the boss I said that.
Jerry said it. I mean, Jerry's right all the time. He said he's Jerry right. 505-246-0610. What do you got to know as you go through the day? Locally, the big headline this morning, New Mexico United are looking for a new head coach. Their new head coach will be somebody other than Eric Quill. Eric Quill, who led them to the number 1 seed in the Western Conference this past season, has been named the new head coach of FC Dallas in Major League Soccer. So that's 2 of the 3 head coaches that United has had in their existence are now coaching in MLS. Troy Lesesne is up there as well. So United will be looking for a new head coach. So that'll be a big deal as you go through. You had your Major League Managers of the Year were announced yesterday. Today is the Cy Young Awards that will be announced. And you got to believe, Scooball's going to be there for. I got to believe the Tigers. That's where that goes. But as far as Managers of the Year, it went to the Brewers and it went to the Cleveland Guardians. Pat Murphy of the Brewers and Stephen Vogt of the Cleveland Guardians, National and American League Managers of the Year. NBA last night, Cleveland Cavaliers suffered their first defeat of the season. There are no longer any unbeaten NBA teams in the NBA. Cavs lose to the Celtics 120-117. And Dalton Connect, the other guy the Lakers drafted, like you might have heard they drafted LeBron's kid. I don't know if anybody heard about that. Yeah. Well, the guy they drafted in the first round, like 17th overall, the guy who was the SEC Player of the Year at Tennessee last year, 37 points with 9 3-pointers for the Lakers last night. Lakers beat Utah 124-118. They are unbeaten at home. Lakers are off to a really, really nice start. You're a Laker fan. Still a Laker fan?
Go my Lakers. Still a Laker fan.
A lot of Laker fans aren't Laker fans with LeBron. You a LeBron guy?
Sure.
You can be.
Yeah, I can
be. I ain't
be.
mad at you.
I don't. Yeah, he came to play with us. Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad he came to play for us. He put some wins. He put some in the wins column.
Yeah, and he made a couple bucks.
Yeah.
along the way. I mean,
Yeah.
he made a few bucks.
I mean, I go back to Will Chamberlain days, so
I get
he's
it.
no Will Chamberlain.
Gail
in my
Goodrich, Happy Harrison, back in those days. I used to go. I had a Happy Harrison Slurpee cup from 7-Eleven. Remember, you used to go to 7-Eleven get the Slurpee cups, and then you run through the washing machine.
Do a
freeze-
suicide and
they're-
mix all the flavors together.
that's so
Oh
good.
yeah.
Sometimes there were only 2 or 3, but yeah. And then their faces would turn yellow when you run them through the dishwasher a bunch of times.
Yeah.
But I would keep those cups were cool. They were like trading cards.
Yeah.
And Deion Sanders, the football coach at the University of Colorado, said, "I got my kickstand down. I ain't going anywhere. I'm happy here. I love what I do. We're about to get comfortable. But everything's got a price," he also said. Now, I mean, Jerry, I don't know how he's supposed to survive on this. He's got a 5-year, $29.5 million contract.
Oh, gosh.
So you're going to have to come up with a couple.
He's got a side job?
I mean, he probably needs one, right? Yeah, he sells Aflac with Nick Saban.
Okay.
Yeah, he's in that commercial. He's in a bunch of commercials, isn't he? Sunglasses, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah, he's got a few side gigs. He's got to. I mean, otherwise, how are you supposed to live?
On just $29 million a year.
No, not a year. Over 5 years. I mean, if it was a year,
my
maybe
goodness.
we'd have a conversation.
Oh, my goodness.
That's only like $6 million. I mean, that's under $6
How
million.
does one do that?
I have no idea. I'd love to know, but
Have
I
you seen the
don't.
price of eggs lately?
Yeah,
Sheesh.
I'd love to know, but I don't know. I mean, I'd love to be able to give you a better perspective on it. I can't.
Okay. I just spent $5 for a dozen and a half eggs.
Did you?
Oh, gosh.
I think I probably spent $4.99. A dozen and a half eggs?
Yeah, it's getting to be cooking season, so the wife wanted a little extra eggs to cook with to do some baking.
I think I spent $4.99 on a dozen.
On a dozen?
I think so.
What, are you going a whole paycheck? Is that Whole Foods?
Yeah, no, I understand that. I was at Sprouts. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean,
you got the organic eggs. I just buy the inorganic
cage
eggs.
free.
That's the eggs that I buy. I'm a little upset.
They're
that
caged?
The chickens.
Yeah,
their
they're caged?
cages are a little too big.
So I mean,
I go the other way. It's a much more tender.
Look,
eggs,
when I go
much
in
more
there,
tender
I go
chicken.
first. It's by the house. I can get something for dinner. I can pick up these little parfaits for breakfast, and I can get eggs. And if it costs me $1 more on eggs as opposed to a stop across the street at Albertsons or something, it's worth my time.
Yeah,
I mean that's just.
I get much better egg prices at Albertsons.
Yeah,
that's why I like my Albies.
Jack says the Jets' backup is Tyrod Taylor. No one's benching Aaron Rodgers, Jeffrey. We'll see, man. I mean, the report says Woody Johnson, their owner, said that he thought they had a better chance to win with Tyrod Taylor. Now, again, owners getting involved rarely have beneficial results. But you keep firing everybody, at some point you're going to get your way, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at some point, you fired the head coach. You fired your general manager. At some point, you're going to get your way. And again, I'll go to the Cowboy thing. I mean, the quote from regarding your quarterback, whether it's going to be Cooper Rush or Trey Lance, it didn't come from Mike McCarthy initially. It came from Jerry Jones. And then Mike McCarthy said, yeah. So at some point, it comes down from the bottom, doesn't it? Or from the top. And if the dude at the top was writing the checks, and again, you could say no, and he could say, all right, and you're dismissed, and you say, cool. Pay me out the rest of my contract, I'll go sit on the beach. I mean, and that happens all the time. But yeah, the dude in charge, like what happens at your place? You got a manager, right? You got a boss. You know the right way to do it is this way, but if the boss comes down and says, hey, do it that way, you're like, yeah, no, we're doing it this way. Because, nope, do it that way. You're like, all right.
Yep.
Either that or, all right. Right?
There's a right way to do it, a wrong way to do it,
And their
my way to do it.
Yep, 100%. And we're going to do it my way.
Yep.
I mean, I hear it all the time.
And that's why they get paid the big bucks.
It's not like it never happened around here.
Not $6 million a year, big bucks sometimes.
Well, it depends where.
True.
I mean, here it's probably about $8 million a year. I mean, where are the guys the guys who have offices?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have an office?
I don't have.
BV just got an office.
I go to whichever room is open right now.
I know.
I can work anywhere.
You see, BV just got an office.
I did, yeah. Well, yeah.
So he's got to be making that gigantic $6 million a year.
Probably pretty close.
Like the dudes with offices, right?
Plus, he's got the side gig, selling his cows. So.
And I heard he's got a show in the afternoon over on News Radio KKOB.
You heard that, huh?
BV Today, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. No, I've heard it. It's good radio.
It
He
is.
won an award. He was best talk show.
I know.
Yeah.
And he didn't bribe anybody.
What are you insinuating? I mean, we've won 8 out of the last 9. You're saying we've bribed people to win 8? All these NMBA, look at them all. I mean, you can't look at me without saying they're everywhere.
On your paycheck, I doubt it.
I mean, that's why I work so many damn jobs. I mean, I'm in college athletics. I must be making that kind of money, right?
Oh, you're on the wrong side of.
Evidently.
You're on the broadcast side of college athletics.
I mean, the little bowl game, of course, pays.
You're getting a good paycheck for the.
Oh, huge! That's why I work all these jobs. Yeah.
I think so. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Oh,
Missed. All right, tomorrow, Jerry Palm, not Jerry Wright, Jerry Palm from CBS Sports will be with us. I'm working on trying to get you Richard Pierce, the offensive lineman from UNM, who's initiated the program where and Jerry, this is so cool. Lobo offensive linemen have used some of their NIL money to go purchase turkeys and meals.
This morning.
Yeah, and they're gonna.
That is cool.
Good for that. It's awesome, and I want to try to get him in maybe Friday. I know they got meetings. They're back at it tomorrow morning, but just to talk about it. I just again, you root for good people, right?
Yeah.
You root for good people.
Their mamas brought them up, right?
Yeah, and so to get back to the community. If you missed the Devin Dampier conversation, Lobo quarterback was with us today. The Associated Press National College Football Player of the Year. He was with us today. It's over on our website, sportsanimalabq.com. Click on the opening drive, and it will be available for you there. Thank you to Devin Dampier for being with us today. The Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowards after that. 2 Men On is here at 4. And then J.J. Buck will have Lobo women's basketball against South Carolina State from the pit. 6:30 tonight here on the Sports Animal. We'll be back with award-winning radio. It's award. We didn't bribe anybody, Jerry.
No bribing.
8 out of the last 9, I believe.
Bribery free.
Yeah. More award-winning radio tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Adrian, great work on the visuals. Appreciate you as always. Jerry, thanks for coming out of the bullpen and getting the save on this one.
Let me warm up a few more times.
You're pretty damn good. Yeah, you're pretty good. I love having you here. Thanks. Hey, be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We will smell you tomorrow.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Albuquerque's leader in sports is ProView. From pros to prep, all your favorite action. All your favorite talk shows. Find it on ProView Networks.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. For over 20 years, Evergard Roofing and Solar has been committed to customer service. Locally owned and operated, Evergard offers both commercial and residential roofing and solar services. For more info, please call 505-821-9543. Evergard Roofing and Solar are proud supporters of ProView Sports Network and New Mexico Youth Athletics.